Hey everybody, and welcome to another model building workshop. I'm Mr. Allen. I'm coming to you from the basement community room of the Smith Hill Library here in Providence, Rhode Island, part of the Community Libraries of Providence. And today we're going to be looking at this kit of the OS2U Kingfisher in 1/48 scale, and this is by Revell. And if you're of a certain age like me, Revell and monogram kits were the thing we had as kids. And this is one of those kits that just about everybody built back then. I knew a lot of friends that built this kit, and so did I. This is one of those that we all teethed on early on. And this is it was a fun kit, as I recall. So it looks like this is a 2011 reissue of this kit, and here's the instruction sheet and a nice booklet. So this plane was the eyes of the fleet. This was a seaplane that was launched off cruisers and battleships by catapult on the back of the ship, and then it could land in the water, and they could pick it up with a crane and put it back on. So this was the scout planes that went with the ships. So pretty cool. Also, some of these operated with the Coast Guard from bases, on the coast, and there were some that did not have the floats that we had wheels and we used for various duties that way too. And it says this is the only Coast Guard plane to sink a submarine. It's one of these. So let's look at the instruction sheet here. So the paint callouts are just in colors by name, though they do give the Federal Standard numbers in the back if you want to have more accurate colors. They also have this interesting, it's not really a parts breakdown, but it numbers the parts and explains what each of them are. That's something I'm not really familiar with. I haven't seen that before, but it's interesting. So the instructions are pretty basic, and they do have nice diagrams here, so it gets pretty clear, and I think that's a bonus of this kit, because I haven't built this in a long time, so the proof is always when you build it, right? And if you wanted to do it without the floats, it tells you how to detach them and how to go about doing that. There's also some information here about how to do the rigging, which I always find rigging to be a challenge, but that's explained also. There's some text. Looks like it's in 3 different languages. And again, the steps go in a very easy to follow fashion. Hopefully it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, there's a lot of steps, it's the only thing, but you get the other floats, and you have a couple of wheel things here. One's for the trolley. If you want to put the trolley underneath the float, you have that option. And then you have the, if I can maneuver this, if you want to do the land plane that just has this interesting wheel setup instead of the floats, there's that option. Bombs you could do if you want. The engine is rather simple. Actually, there's more detail onto the propeller than there is on the actual engine. Engine's I thought was kind of a disappointment with this kit, but I'll show you that in more detail in a second. And then you get positions and how you want the gunner to sit, to give you a couple of options. I'll show you more of that in a second after we get to it. So there's a lot of glass to this kit, a lot of these clear plastic parts. So you could sit it all closed up like this, or if you want this one open for the gunner, you have that interesting option. These are the only 2 options they give you, but still not bad. And your painting options are intriguing. So we have this one here from the USS Detroit, an intermediate blue and white scheme. This is like a 1943. It's got the big stars and bars, but it's got the red outline, so it's from that period. And what's interesting with that, turn the page, is at this point they were doing 2 of them. So it's an early transitional period into the stars and bars. And they have explanations as to how far up the wing they sit, from up and below here. So that's intriguing that they know that from the actual photographs of that aircraft. And another one here, Corpus Christi, Texas, 1942. This has got the earlier, like pre-war U.S. markings and the stripes on it, and that's intermediate blue with yellow and a light gray. It's got the yellow on top of the wings. I don't know if that's 42 or pre-42, but in any case, that's a colorful option you could do if you wanted to do that. And I have a picture here from a model show I took of this person's Kingfisher in silver and yellow with red. Though I just find interesting that the star here is the early World War II, when they took the red circle out of it, so this is implying that's 42. Anyway, but an interesting look. The parts are not too bad. I mean, it is an old kit, but they're decent. That's what you would expect. You know, here's the floats. There are some flash at the cleanup. You have figures. So it's what you would expect from a Revell kit from that time period. Got the bombs, a few other things there. It's the half of the float. Someone started putting pieces in there. That doesn't look like it's in correctly, so that some corrections are going to need to be made on that. Another one here. And this is what I'm talking about with the detail. I thought was a little soft. It's not terrible, but I've seen better engines, you know. The fact that it's one piece is not the greatest. And then you get the decals. So that's a look at our Kingfisher. All right, thank you. We'll see you next time.